Okay guys, let's do some calendar together. These are the items that you'll need. You'll need a pencil, you'll need a set of crayons, and you need your Energenius coloring calendar. So these calendars I got actually from, it's actually from PG&E. And they sent them to us for free. And what I like to do is I like to use them for our calendar time. And what's really neat is that you can also use them for your personal calendar. So that like this is the one that you probably, similar to the calendar that you have hanging up on your refrigerator, at least I do. Or maybe there's one in your kitchen that your whole family uses. This could be your personal one. Now, it's really tempting to do the extra months before Mrs. Smith asks you to. I'm going to ask you to not do that, okay? So we'll do some activities inside this calendar book together, and we're going to restrict that time. Okay, now what's really cool about this coloring calendar, if you'll open up to your first page, is that this page is all ready for some art. So the first step, what I'd like you to do is to write down your Okay, so once you've done that, okay, so in here, what I'd like you to do is Mrs. Smith is going to take her crayons, and I'd like you to give me some drawings. So maybe in one section of this page, you're going to make this your own. So maybe you do your favorite sport. Okay, Mrs. Smith's. Now, maybe in another section, you draw a favorite food that you really like. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video and finish coloring, and then when I turn it back on, it'll be all done. It'll be like magic. Ta-da! One of my favorite foods, grapes. I also like green grapes. And then for your last picture, why don't we do an animal that you really like? And remember, Mrs. Smith, not the best artist, but sometimes it's just fun to draw. And so when I turn back on my video, it'll be like magic, and you'll be able to see what animal I really like. Ta-da! Tigers. I think tigers are really neat. Okay, you can also add more pictures to this page. I would not suggest spending more than maybe 5 or so minutes. You can also go back. You can color in these little guys. You can also skip this part and do it in another day, whatever you're feeling. Okay, turn the page, please. And we're ready to go for calendar. What month is this one? Well, if I look at the page, I see these things at the top. These are not the months. I see the word Sunday. That must mean that these are the days of the week. What comes after Sunday that begins with M? Monday. How about Tuesday? Wednesday. Thursday. Friday, and Saturday. So that's not the month, though. This is the month. It starts with a J. Well, if I look at the picture, does that look like the month of June? Not here in California, and not very much in the United States is going to look like that in the middle of June or July. Is there another J month that you know that has snow and it's in the winter? Yes, this is January. January. January is in the wintertime. That's why it looks like this. So are we in January? No. School doesn't start in January. School starts in August. So why is January the first month? That's because our school calendar does not match with the calendar of the world, basically. Our school calendar here at SDS and many other schools around the United States, we usually begin in August and September for our school year, and it goes until June. But we know that there are those months in between as well. So the school year is actually more like a school season, and it has some months that are not part of it. Those are called the summer months. Now, we don't want to start in January. That's the first month of the year. So January is actually the number 1 if we were going to write it on a date. I want to go all the way until I see this month. This month is August. So let's turn the page until we see August. Ah, we found it. This looks more like August. I see that they have the night sky outside, and it looks like they're changing a light bulb here. Maybe this reminds me of when we do camping outside and you get to see the stars during summer. Notice he's wearing short sleeves. That tells you that it's summertime. And then let's look at the clock over here. This small hand is the hour hand. That's the first one we look at. It's pointing to the number 7. And then the minute hand is pointing to the 12. But we don't say, have you ever heard 7:12? No, we don't say 7:12. The 12 is actually o'clock. So this is the time 7 o'clock. And in summertime, it is just getting dark at about 7 o'clock here in California. Sometimes it's even still light at 8 o'clock and a little bit later. And as you get into different parts of our country, it's going to stay bright even later. So it's very strange. This is the first month that we're going to start with because this is the first month of our school season, our school year. Okay. Now, we see down here, we have these things at the top. These are the days of the week. You're right. Okay. First step, I'd like you to have your crayons available. And we are going to highlight, Mrs. Smith is getting her crayons ready. We are going to highlight each of these words as we say them and as we read them. We're going to use rainbow order just because that's fun. So let's start with this one. This is we call this the first day of the week. Some people might call it the 7th day of the week. This is Sunday. Sunday, where do we try to go? Or at least what do we try to watch on YouTube? We try to watch church. Church is a good day on Sunday. Okay, after red, we have orange in our rainbow. This is the day after Sunday. It starts with an M. It is Monday. Generally the first day of the week that we would begin school. After orange is yellow. And we have Tuesday. After yellow is green for Wednesday. And now we have blue for Thursday. Purple or indigo for Friday. And the last one that we're going to highlight, I'm going to use pink. This is what day of the week? Saturday. Okay. So it's important, if you're looking at a rainbow and you have, the rainbow is like green, blue, yellow, red, orange, and it's all in different order, does that still look like a rainbow to you? No. The color order is important, and that's the same way that we need to look at the numbers, that we look at the numbers, yes, but also the days of the week. They need to be in the order, in the correct order, so that when we're looking at a calendar and we're trying to figure out dates and schedule things, we're looking at the correct day on the correct number. Now, Most of the time when we start something, we start on the top left. This is the top left. And generally, if we're going to start for number 1, we think it should be here. But because the calendar is not perfect each month we're not going to fill all of these squares. That means that the number 1 may not be on this very first square. So, before we started this lesson, I actually saw that the first day of August was on a Saturday. And so down here in the corner, I'm going to write the number 1. I'd like you to do the same thing. Now, this is the trickiest part. If we're going to figure out what day number 2 was, we need to figure out what comes after Saturday. Well, if we were going to do this rainbow, where would I go after this pink color? I would go back to red, but I need to be careful. Do I put my number 1 here, my number 2 here? Is it in the same line, or do I need to go down a line? I need to go down a line. So this one is number 2. Okay. And then what comes after that? 3. All right. I would like you to fill in from Monday the 3rd all the way to Saturday. So I want you to fill in to that square. So pause me now, and then when you come back, it'll be all filled in on mine, and you should make sure yours is correct. Did you pause me? I hope so. Welcome back. Do you have 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8? I hope so. Okay, so now I'm going to go and we're going to do the next one. So we're going to go from 9. I want you to answer a few questions for me. Please put a triangle here. Please put a rectangle here. And please put a circle here. Pause me and put those shapes. Okay, once you've done that, I would like you to count out without drawing the numbers and figure out what should go inside the triangle, what will go inside the square, or rectangle, and what will go inside the circle. So I'm gonna pause my video, and when it comes back, the answer will be there. So you have to make sure you pause me now so that you can fill those in and then check your answers with me. Do you have 11, 19, and 25? I hope so. Okay. Now for our last one today, we are going to find today's date. I will give you a hint. Today is a Wednesday. I almost said Tuesday. Today is a Wednesday. Okay, so let's find Wednesday up here. What does Wednesday start with? With a W. Find Wednesday and point to it, just like me. Now we're going to go down until we get to the 19th. It is Wednesday, the 19th of August. Now, we're going to practice writing this date right here inside this box. Now, if we're going to speak about August, we don't always want to write the word August. We could use its number as well. August is the 8th month. So we're going to write the number 8. Then we draw a line or a slash to separate the number of today. It is the 19th. And then we're going to do another slash, and we're going to write down the year, which is 2020. I've gone a little bit out of my square, but that's okay. So that's the date for today, 8/19/2020. Next week, we'll come back and we'll fill in more of this August. If you want to take another 5 minutes and give some color to the top of your calendar, you certainly can. If you use crayons, it's perfect. Colored pencils, perfect. Using markers are okay, but be careful, it might bleed through. Hope you've enjoyed, and see you soon.